What's up, my people? It's your favorite light M Boogie in this thing. Welcome to another amazing episode of the Can't Be Broken podcast, where we are shining light on the darkness that is domestic violence and abuse. Welcome to season 2. We got 3 simple goals to educate, empower, and encourage. We're here to educate anyone who's never been in an abusive relationship and don't understand how you get in one and why you stay. We are here to empower all of our survivors to stand up and share your story without shame, fear, guilt, or judgment, because you are strong, you are powerful, and your voice deserves to be heard. And to anyone who is currently suffering in silence, listen, you are not alone. You are not crazy. Abuse is not normal. Your feelings are valid. And despite how it may look and feel in this very moment, there is always a way out. And we encourage you to safely seek support. So come on with me, because we're going to hop up in this thing so we can rise above these insecurities, release the burdens of shame and guilt, and revive our God-given power, purpose, and passion, the Conf1dence Way. We about to light it up. All right, y'all. Welcome to another amazing episode. We have a phenomenal guest on the show today. Artist, all things vibrant, light, life, resurrected. It's just amazing. You know we be having amazing people. Oh my gosh. The world knows this man as Deadeye. Deadeye, welcome to the building. Pew, pew, pew,
Yo, what
pew.
up, and Boogie? What's up? What's up?
You know
Can't Be
what's up with
Broken
me.
podcast. What's up?
You know what's up with me. How you doing?
No, I'm chilling. I'm chilling.
Doing.
I'm two stepping.
Hey, come on, two step. Don't take me back. Going to two step. Okay, I'm sorry. Focus. We got focus. We got focus. We got focus. But it's a great day to be alive. I'm so excited. Thank you so much for having the confidence to come on here and share your story, because you're my third one, two, three, fifth. You're the fifth man that I've had on this podcast. 2 men that I interviewed didn't have personal experience with domestic violence relationships, but they had connection to it. One guy, the other 2 did have personal experience with abusive relationships, and one of them, I can't air his episode because he's still in the courts, and the court is like, you can't put nothing out here about this. So his is waiting in the chamber, and now we got you. And we talked about this a little bit before, but this conversation, I think, is going to be so eye-opening and so important, because a lot of times men will minimize the abuse, and women will minimize the abuse that men experience because you're a man. And so many
Think some people
times,
be embarrassed to if they had to report. Then you got some people, they grew up street, so they like, I'm not calling cops regardless. And then some dudes that probably didn't grow up like that or probably feel embarrassed to call the cops on a female attacking them. Or some dudes is like, if I call, they probably gonna come and she gonna flip the story and they gonna believe her.
there's so many reasons. There's so
Yeah.
many reasons why guys don't call. Like you said, the embarrassment, the shame, because y'all are looked at as mountains. And it's like anybody should be able to do anything to you, and you're supposed to suck it up, you're supposed to hold it in. And that's what really bothers me too about how young boys are raised in society. It's like, don't cry, don't have any other emotion besides excitement, passion, and anger. Like you
Yeah.
can't, you're not, it's like y'all aren't allowed to use the other emotions that God gave us, because you're gonna be looked at as a simp or a punk, or like
Yeah.
you weak, you sorry, you nobody. And it's
A lot of people mess up their talents because of that. They scared to tap into certain emotions and certain things because they feel like they have to be a certain design.
Mhm.
Got to be this design. That's it. You know what I'm saying? And it restricts them from soaring to a whole bunch of other things just because they feel like they got to be what the status quo is wanting them to be in their environment. You know what I mean? So they don't tap into a lot of other things with themselves. You know what I'm saying? They
Yep.
actually sometimes they out here being people that they really not.
Yes.
Word.
Trying to be somebody that you're not, so that you can please people who really don't even care about you.
I don't know.
It's
Yeah.
crazy out here in these streets. It's crazy out here in these streets. That is crazy. But this is gonna be good, because I'm excited about your transparency. I'm excited about, because you even said, you was like, I've experienced it, but I don't really talk about it, because I don't want people to be like, oh, you talking about a girl hitting on you and stuff. And And it's also minimized. It's minimized because in a lot of cases, women can be physically abusive, but it doesn't actually cause a lot of damage to the man. And
Yeah,
because it doesn't cause a lot of damage to the man, it's like just dismissed. Like it still
yeah.
wasn't, they're still disrespectful, it's still abusive, it's they still shouldn't be putting their hands on you, they still shouldn't be talking to you that way, they
Especially
still
not for
shouldn't be trying to.
words or silence. 'Cause you know, some of y'all get crazy over silence. Turn around and try to walk away and pot go upside your head.
And you okay. Ooh, this is so good. This is so good. Oh my gosh. So I'm a teacher, so I see this all the time. And I think that I don't know if it's because now that I'm in the school system, I can see it up close and personal because it's not how I was raised, or if it's because society has all of these reality TV shows and all this social media where you're sharing fights, you're sharing death, you're sharing violence, you're watching it, and these kids are growing up to emulate it, thinking like it's cool and things. I don't know which one it is, but what I do know is it's a lot of hand contact going on in the school that I'm in, and it's a private school. And I'm like,
What is
why?
it? Junior high, elementary, high school,
Middle school and high school,
middle school, and high school?
middle school and high school. And I'm like, y'all, you, why are you hitting? He hit me first. She hit me first. She pushed me. He said such and such about such and such. I'm like, there are so many other options to respond to this situation than to try to prove like we ain't got to be throwing hands at everything. And I
Yeah,
see like there are like so many of these young girls think it's okay to hit on the boys
yeah,
because they know that the boys aren't supposed to hit them back. And then they'll go pick on, like, it'll be the smallest girl going to pick on this big old boy, like this bear, and I'm like, why are you even provoking this person to get to a place where they can't take it anymore? And we're going to talk about that. That's
hmm
actually called reactive abuse. But in most cases, reactive abuse is seen from a woman's standpoint because the abuser is the man, and the man is
hmm
constantly poking, 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 and poking, and actually doing things that are damaging to the woman. Then she turns around and screams and yells. Sometimes it gets physical, and that's when they say, "Well, look what you're doing. This you're abusing me," and things like that. But they're doing this to young boys who are naturally just bigger,
hmm
and then when the boy reacts, he's going to be the one that's getting the punishment, even though this young girl has been sitting here slapping him, hitting him, pushing him, saying all kinds of you ain't this, that, and the third. But you want him to not respond. You want him to not react because then you're going to point the blame and play the victim.
yeah. Because
That
soon
bothers
soon
me
he
so
hit,
much.
then it's gonna be like you a punk. You ain't supposed to hit her.
Mm-hmm.
No, he leaking already.
Mm-hmm. Yes. So I want to know because we know that you've been in a situation or situations where women have done these things to you, and we're going to get there. But growing up, do you remember witnessing anything in your household, in the neighborhood, in the
You know
community, school?
not to cut you off. The crazy thing, a lot of people used to witness like men abusing their moms. Seemed like my moms used to be the winner in a lot of them situations.
How so?
My moms used to be popping on her boyfriend. Uh,
Really?
yeah, hell yeah. And I think a couple of them scared of her. Like after my father passed, like I think my father passed when I was young. I was like 6 years old. So
Hmm.
I, I, I don't even really remember two or three situations, but he was spinning off. You know, maybe he said something because I remember one time he was carrying me on his shoulders and he was taking me to the barbershop and she was wigging on him and he was spinning off and she threw a whole bottle at him. He kind of like ducked it. I'm
While
on
you're
his
on his
shoulders.
shoulders.
Yeah, and he just kept going like he wasn't trying to. And then another time I seen her before, she was arguing with her boyfriend. He was and she just
Do you remember what you were thinking or how you felt when your mom saw your mom do that?
I don't know. To me, it's like nobody want to mess with her. She a superhero,
Wow.
beating up men.
So let me ask you this. As an adult male now, do you
Different
feel
point of
like
view. different point of view now.
Different point of view.
And you younger, me and my moms ran around with each other a lot. Like
Mm-hmm.
I was out and about with my moms a lot. So, when you a kid, like if your father not around and you're not with your father, it's like she became my protector, even though in my head I'm her protector.
Mm-hmm.
But she the one that, stepped to situations. You know what I'm saying? So she became the superhero for me. You know what I'm saying? So when I seen certain stuff like that, to me it was just like, that's my mom. She a superhero. She get busy.
Ain't nobody gonna threaten this household because your
Yeah,
mom is there. That's how you saw it then.
that, and I felt me, even though I'm a kid. I'm 6, 7, 8. You know what I mean, 9. But she didn't do too much playing. Like, mm-mm.
Do you remember like how the situation got to the point where your mom was doing that? Do you feel like she was doing that in response to feeling threatened, or do you feel like she was doing that in response to I'm just not gonna like I'm not taking any BS from anybody, and this
I
is
think
how
it
you
was
gonna
that.
know?
'Cause I never could remember experiencing, how some people, even with certain movies you see, a dude probably putting their hands on a female or dragging her through the house and doing all. I can't remember no incident like that with my
Wow.
mom. I can't remember no incident where she's getting put through that in the house. No, I remember an incident of a dude leaving out the house. I remember an incident of outside and a dude kind of running from her, like stuff like that. I don't really
Hmm.
remember no dudes putting their hands on her. Nah.
Did y'all ever have a conversation about this? Like, has she ever talked to you about how she was raised or how she treated men with you growing up around that?
No. No, we never spoke about like, yo, why you used to do this? Like, nah, I never did that. I know my whole family, they originally from the country. We all was born in New York, but I don't know it's just that old school country girl, then country girl coming from them Jim Crow times, could have harmed a female, and then you're in New
Hmm.
York, and maybe she got that mindset like, ain't nobody gonna be taking advantage of me up here just because I'm from the country, or I don't know. We never really had that conversation.
Wow.
Mm-mm.
Do you think that that has played a part, knowingly or unknowingly, in you getting into relationships where women thought it was okay to put their hands on you?
But see, this is the thing. I never sat there in the conversation with a female before I dealt with them. Like, hey, you be fighting men? I never asked that question. So,
Hmm.
you can, when you first start talking to somebody, you get sweetheart, super
Yep.
sweetheart. Some of that other stuff don't come around until other emotions get involved. You know what I
Right.
mean? Other things, other intimate things start happening. Now it's like a different kind of emotion. And sometimes that emotion could click over to dangerous emotions and stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I
Yeah.
never been like, you be hitting men. But I do think sometimes when females figure out that you one of them guys that don't hit females, they're, what I mean,
Tested.
the way they handle you is different. Cause I see the ones that dealing with a dude that everybody know this dude like beating on girls, and they deal with it different. Unless it's a female, one of them females that have them mental health problems, like they like that fighting, like that
Hmm.
abuse mean love to them. So then they always initiating it so they can
Yep.
fight or feel like they be in love because they made a man get out of discipline, get out of his character, get emotional, and just start attacking. So to them, mentally, you know what I mean? That means, oh, he loved me because I got him mentally wrapped. You know what I mean? I got him
Hmm.
emotionally going crazy, stuff like that. But I never like it was times. One time I had dealt with a female. My silence used to anger her. Like when she started getting in a certain kind of mode, I just be silent. And she tried and she stabbed me with a fork.
What?
Yeah, like in my chest. It was summertime, so you don't really feel the sweat, but you know how your body might have a little bit because you were just outside. So that them little nips of sweat with that fork stabbing, whole chest started burning.
Because you weren't saying anything.
Yeah, because like I might have started off with her with whatever she was trying to pull me into. And then I'm like, all right, I see where this is going, yo. And then I might got a silent. This was years ago though. This was many
Yeah.
years ago. I get silent. Then when I get up to leave, see, I left that part out. I was getting up to go up back out the door, and then it was just like,
Like this kind of stuff is so disappointing, and it angers me so much because you have you have the mindset to say, I'm acknowledging what's happening here. You know that if you allow yourself to lose control and you take the
mhm.
bait, it's going to be really bad for the other person.
Yeah,
But you have this mindset to say, I'm going to get up and walk away. I'm going to remove myself from the situation to help de-escalate the situation. And then, like you said, you have women out there who see the men who try to de-escalate the situation and they just follow behind, nagging, biting, tapping like little chihuahuas, waiting for you to turn around so they can cry whatever they want to cry. But you're getting up because you see what's happening real time. You get quiet and then you're like, you know what? I'm not even because I'm not gonna go back and forth with you on this. Let me just leave till you calm down and we can figure out something after that. What do you remember how old you were? Like or what was this? Were y'all young?
early,
Were y'all
yeah, early 20s maybe,
early 20s?
mid, probably like probably mid 20s something.
So you're getting up to walk away and she stabs you with a fork. How do you respond then? After you realize what happens, do you
Just
get
grab the
loud with
hand.
her?
I just grab the hand.
You grab her hand, then you walk away. You keep walking away.
I'll push her first, push her away,
Mm-hmm.
still go out the door.
Did you were y'all in a relationship?
Yeah, we was in a relationship at that moment.
Did you stay with her? Like, did you forgive her, accept her
Yeah,
apologies, blah 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 after she
yeah.
did that?
We
Was that the
still
first incident between y'all?
to get stabbed with a fork. Yes.
Physical, was that the first physical incident between y'all?
Nah, I think one other time, I think she tried to swing on me while I was driving. Like we driving, I forgot what we got into it over, but I'm driving, and then I remember her trying to swing on me while we driving, and then I had to kind of reach my arm out, like you trying to hold her back until I pull over. Or
And at no time, like between that incident and this one that's physical, are you like, this isn't healthy? Because I mean, at the end of the day, you have the history of your mom where you see a woman putting her hands on a man. Did you not feel like, once it got to the point where she was willing to voluntarily swing on you, knowing that you're not going to, or thinking that you're not going to do anything in return, you weren't like, you know what? I don't need this.
I never put my mother's situations growing up next to none of my relationships and situations. I never been like, oh, this my mother used to do the. Nah, I never did. I never even thought about that with my situations. Then I just was living in the present. You
What do
know,
you think about it now, though?
I mean, like you said, maybe it was the fact that that was real minor to me, but it could have been major to somebody else in another circumstance. That fork could have been a knife for another person,
Yeah.
and over for them. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That swinging in the car could have panicked another person, and y'all both flip over. You know what I'm saying? But maybe
Yeah.
because of the way it turned out, it didn't like. You know what I mean, especially from where I grew up at and all the stuff that was going on at that time, that was minor. And then you got to think back then. I think this was probably before MySpace, so you didn't have the internet where everybody having these conversations about
Mm-hmm.
abuse and certain things or blah blah blah. You know what I mean, so it was just like it happened. We probably get past it and you just keep living in the present. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't
Yeah.
like something that everybody was now trying, like right now, everybody's trying to dissect a lot of things to try to get down to the roots of a lot of
Yeah.
problems. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. because we have to have these conversations so that we can stop the cycle, so that our trauma that we live through is not being used to lead and guide the next generation so that they're living through it. Because, like, I'm listening to your story and I'm seeing this young kid grow up protected by his mom while also seeing her as a superhero, while also witnessing her being abusive to men. Then you go to getting older, and that's almost like the yelling and everything in a relationship is considered normal because it's the passion, it's the thing. You care enough to argue with me or whatever, even though that's not healthy relationships, but that's not how we're raised to believe in most cases. Then it comes to, well, somebody's now swinging on you in a car, and two things can be happening right now. What you just said, it doesn't seem that major to you, which in a lot of cases, why women stay in abusive relationships, sometimes it's like it's not that bad.
Yeah.
Like, because you've seen other abusive relationships. And in your case, it wasn't that bad. Like, it
Yeah.
was just a swing. She didn't hit me. Even if she did hit me, she probably wasn't going to hurt me for real. So it's not that bad. Plus, I seen what my mama did to people. So this ain't nothing, you know? And I think that even though you haven't thought about what you witnessed growing up versus what you lived through being in some kind of parallel universe, if you look at it, it almost does. Because if you never grew up witnessing your mom go upside anybody's head, busting bottles, chasing people out the house, even though you grew up in the streets, even though you've seen something worse, even though you know she wasn't necessarily going to damage you because it wasn't a knife, because she didn't make you flip the car over, you still might have been like, well, this ain't what my mom showed me love was. So I'm not going to accept that. It could have still gone that way. But it's just interesting that the not that bad narrative. It wasn't that bad. And so we're quick to overlook what's actually happening.
Yeah.
And just because the first incident or the second incident isn't that bad, the longer we stay in anything that's unhealthy and abusive, the greater the chance of the next incident and the next incident getting worse and worse and worse until you end up with irreversible damage or death or something like that. And so I think it's important that we pay attention to the fact that men also have the narrative of it's not that bad, because one, it's not another grown man coming at you. So in a lot of cases, on a scale of 1 to 10, how you felt physically because of the attack might have been a 2 or a 3. And because you guys can endure so much, and because you guys can hold so much in and keep pushing through and moving forward, and because you can receive blows, you might have been in fist fights growing up. You might have been in fist fights as you got older. Like, this is nothing. We gonna, like you said, we just gonna move past this. And I'm loving this because it's like two sides to the same coin. Because a woman's side, it is a lot more dangerous, and they still say, well, we're going to move past this. And then in a lot of men's sides, it's not as dangerous initially because of the variation in weight, height, strength, and things like that. But you still say it's not that bad. We can move past this.
Mm-hmm.
And we still have the mind to stay in the relationship when these people have shown us they don't deserve to be in close proximity with us, in relation with us. Like, I, you couldn't have said, there's nothing that you should be able to say to someone that you're in a relationship with that warrants them to swing on you if they love you. Especially not like, I be outside of myself when I hear people swinging on folks when the people are driving.
Man, but what they called it back then, ghetto love. Ghetto love had a whole lot. Even some music. Think about it. Some of the
Yes,
R&B and music videos back then, when it was like
yes,
a female singing about something she going through, they showed the argument, the yelling, the
yes.
boo boo boom, the dishes being thrown, the you
Mm-hmm.
know what I mean. So that was kind of like a
Conditioning
norm
us.
back then. Like
Mm-hmm.
nowadays, Or you look at one of those reality shows. If a girl probably stab a dude with a fork, it might be a SWAT team out there. He might be calling the cops. It might be
Yeah.
he might be. I gotta protect myself just in case. You know what I mean? Because I'm seeing a few times now on social media is where like the roles be reversed.
Yeah.
You see the dude calling the cop because he feel like if he feel like if I don't call him, get a restraining order or report this, then when she do it, they just coming to lock me up like it never was no other incidents. So I seen a lot of stuff like that on TV when situations happen like that, and they feeling like they got to do that to protect themselves. But then you got some people they just don't believe in the calling the law for their circumstances and stuff like that. So they just deal with it. It's either they try to get him. And I know a dude who went through a situation like that. He's not going to call law enforcement. And what happened was when he got in his car, the chick pulled up with her car, jumped out with a bat, started hitting glass, went all in his face and all that. He had to go to the hospital, this and that, third, and he still didn't report her or get her locked up or none of that. He actually moved. That was the only option he felt that he had because she knew where he lived at. She'd be pulling up at his house. So he just moved.
That's wild. I think that we have to also change the narrative that a man who's actually being assaulted and abused, just because he's a man, he shouldn't be calling the police. And I get it on both sides. Like you hear a lot of times women don't call the police. And one of the reasons is because many times the police don't actually do anything except for say, well, y'all sleep in separate places tonight, or like they don't have the proper training to handle domestic situations in most cases
or
until it's too
mental
late,
health.
you know,
Or mental health.
or mental health. And so they've called, I've had conversations where a woman has called and the man has lied.
Mm-hmm.
And because a lot of police officers are abusive too, not all of them, but a lot of them are too, because they have this power trip and this God complex that they'll say, well, you need to leave, talking to the woman, and let the man stay or whatever. Or you're going to go to jail for the night. But once he gets out, like, you know, all you've done is angered him. And so if I'm going to call him and you're not going to do anything, it's only going to be worse for me when he gets back from whatever. Whenever y'all leave, it's only going to be worse for the woman. But at the same time, you have men who, just because you can take the physical abuse doesn't mean you should. But
True.
you don't call because you're afraid that when I call, she's gonna put on this show, she's gonna start crying, she's gonna do all these things, and they're gonna believe her. And now I'm in trouble for something that I didn't even like, I tried to walk away from.
Mm.
So the fact that y'all have an issue calling the police for the same thing but a different reason, I think it's important that we look at, I don't know, because I don't even know how I feel with police involvement in abusive relationships. Like the track record just isn't good. The court system isn't good. It's like a joke to me because again, like we just said, they don't have the proper training for this. And so they minimize, I think, a lot on the woman's side. And I believe that if a man were to call, and I don't know because I haven't spoken to a man who's actually, I did speak to, did the police show up? I can't remember if the police showed up in that conversation. If he said he called the police and they showed up or not. They did, but they were like, the police didn't necessarily blame him, but they also didn't do anything. It was more so like almost like y'all separate and figure it
Yo,
out.
figure this out and bounce, whatever.
Yes.
Somebody leave, come back later.
Yes. And I don't know. I don't know if my advice would be for a man to call the police. I mean, I think you should at least try to have paperwork, a paper trail, so that if something does happen in the future, you have documentation of
I'm
reported.
just I'm just gonna get away from them.
But right, like, but you shouldn't even have to move. Like, you should not have to get up and uproot your life
That's
because
true.
somebody else is
But
threatening
I
you.
still have something in me to even with a circumstance like that, I'm not sending nobody to slavery. And that's just because I know the history of what these prisons was really built for, the system is really designed for. So even with certain circumstances, I'm like, if I could just be away from the person, get away from the person, eliminate myself from the environment or the area, depending on, I'd rather do that. So that'll be me to judging it on my way, because your way is probably sending somebody up the river just to help out profit somebody that's benefiting off of prisons, you know what I mean? And
That's an
incarceration and stuff. So
interesting outlook.
I never really, like me, the way I grew up and the stuff that I studied and all that. Nah, to me, that's something. I'm not sending nobody no slavery, yo.
So what is your take on this? You choose to remove yourself from the relationship,
Hmm.
remove yourself, like move away to
But I
avoid
didn't move. My homeboy moved.
he moved.
Yeah, I
But
ain't never moved from nobody. No, no, nah.
so you choose to remove yourself from the relationship rather than send them, call the police on them to see if anything happens as far as them going to jail because of the history of prisons. But have you ever thought about what happens when they're not held accountable for their actions with you? You get away, but then the next person that they deal with is going to have to
I mean,
deal with, and the
I
next
mean,
person.
I hope this don't sound selfish or nothing like that, but that next person gonna have to deal with it the way that they want to deal with it accordingly. And I respect however they deal with it, because they might be a civilian to certain things, and they like, well, I'm calling the police or whatever,
Hmm.
whatever. That's what they're going to do. But I'm not choosing to do that.
I got you.
Yeah, I'm not choosing to do that.
I got you.
Mm-mm.
So growing up, prior to this incident with the girl who's swinging on you in your early 20s, any relationships before that, was there a lot of arguing, or do you look back and see like there was any mental or verbal abuse in the previous relationships, or did it kind of start when you got with her?
With me and someone else, or with her
With you
past
and other
relationship.
with you and other relationships
I had a
before that
couple
one?
incidents with, I had a couple incidents growing up, like in relationships, but I never had no serious, like, I never been like put in no hospital. I never put no female in no hospital. I never punched no female in her face or nothing like that. I was always tall and big for my age. So I would feel like a total sucker punching a female in the face. But there have been times when certain circumstances that I've seen, and I'd be like, he should have punched her in her face, yo. Before that happened, yo. It
Mm.
was times like that I seen certain incidents. I'm like, bro, like, like he just taking all kinds of stuff. It was a special on it
For
before.
other people, like
Yeah,
people you
other
knew.
people, not me.
Like what? Tell me about a
It was a
time where you're
special. You don't
like,
remember some years back they had a special on. It was called "When Is It when is it okay for men to defend themselves against females?" It was something like that. It was a news special. They had all these dudes sitting there talking. All kinds of limbs and body parts was missing from them from their relationships. One dude,
are you serious?
yeah, like you probably could look it up. Like if I get the wording right, nowadays you can track it down.
Yeah.
But it was a special from years ago, and it was talking about when is it okay for a man to neutralize a female or this that, and the third. I remember one dude they was talking to, his whole eye was gone. He had a chain. It was a chain and lock in his shed. He said the lock was on the chain. He said he was arguing with his girl, whatever. Boom, 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 boom. He said he didn't hit her. He said when she grabbed him and all that was pulling on the shirt, he just pushed her off him. When he was walking to the jeep, she grabbed the chain. He kind of took up for her because he said she probably wasn't in her right mind. Maybe she wasn't thinking. He said it was rumors that he was supposed to be cheating with somebody that lived up the neighborhood or whatever, and she started swinging it. You know what I mean? And he said when he kind of thought he was stepping in to reach for it, the lock hit him, pop, knocked his whole joint out. Then another dude, he said he used to work inside the witch coming with they chopped down trees or whatever they was doing. He had an axe in the back of his truck. And whatever he had going on with her, I don't remember it 100%. Um, but his fingers was going. He just had his thumb and this. That was it. He was like this. like I guess when she was swinging the axe at him, a lot of times, what's your first reaction? Is to
The
reach.
catch, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, he caught it.
Catch your block.
Yeah, he caught it.
It caught him. Dang.
It was a special on that. It was
I'm
on
gonna
the
have to
news
look.
before.
Ooh, I gotta look
Yeah, you
that
gotta
up.
find that. I'm gonna try
I
to
gotta
find
look
it for
that
you. I'm
up.
gonna send it to you. But I
Please send
remember
it
it
to
was, it was
me.
one of them news specials, and they had all these different men that was breaking it. And they was talking about like, you know what I'm saying, like they same similar situation. They was like, some of them probably say, it has been police called to their house before, not from them, just from the arguing or whatever
Hmm.
going on, and what I mean, and they probably both be like, ain't nothing going on or whatever,
Yep.
whatever stuff like that. So I mean, and then I looked up something else too. Like when the first time when me and you was when we was at that podcast summit
Hmm.
and we was talking about, and then I went and looked up something. There's a high percentage of men being abused in relationships
Yes.
too. It's just way
Yes.
more silent. And then it's like if a man get on a social media or get to talking about it, it's like females gonna be like, oh,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah.
Whatever. Boom, 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 this, that, and the third. But if you're trying to attack this, you need to attack it from all angles.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? If you
Exactly.
have some females with mental health problems, some dudes with mental health problems, some dudes that seen certain things, they still dealing with trauma, and they just attacking whatever is close to them. You know what I mean? You still got a whole lot of other circumstances that should be attacked. Like if you're a father, you should be telling your daughters, if you get in an argument with your boyfriend or your husband, go take a walk. Don't let, even if he say some harsh words to you, that still don't give you the right to
Correct.
attack. Because now, if he defend himself, you're going to be calling saying, Dad, he put his hands on me. And then we're going to probably be reacting. I'm going to probably be reacting off of, I don't even want to hear the whole story yet.
Hmm.
And then after the fact, when I hear the whole story, now I'm going to feel like, damn, yeah, because you play it back in your head in certain circumstances that you in. So, if you're a father that have daughters, you're supposed to be telling your daughters, don't be putting your hands on no men either. It's never, I don't care what they say, those are words. If they didn't touch you,
Yes.
now if they put their hands on you, you hurt something. You know what I'm saying? But if they don't put their hands on you, nah, you don't. It's supposed to be a discipline on both sides,
Yes.
you know? Not just on one side.
I get so irritated and angry at women who really believe that that's okay. Like they really believe that your man is okay. You should be able to take this. Like and it's not even just the reality shows now, like all of the stuff. If you go back to, I mean, every show way back in the day, black and whites, even what's the name of them stories? My grandma used to watch them all the time. What's the name of the shows? Doggone.
Donald Goins.
I can't. No, that was my country.
You said Donald Goins. You talking about the books? Let me find out. You talking about pimping and yeah.
No, I'm so country. Hold on. It be slipping out sometimes. Sometimes it just be too slip. What is the name? I can see the Days of Our Lives.
Oh, you talking about the stories?
Yes,
I think
yes.
at first I'm starting to think you was talking about them sitcoms, but you talking about like
I mean,
story
even the
Days of Our
sitcoms
Lives,
too.
All My
Yes,
Children.
yes, yes.
Um,
All this. The
I
women
don't
are
remember too
slapping
much
men.
abusive stuff on.
The
Every
women
now
were
and then on like
slapping men.
Cosby shows and stuff like that. They might have that one special episode where they
Yeah.
show something like that, but they main thing wasn't built
It
on.
wasn't abuse.
Yeah, it wasn't
However,
abuse.
they normalized women hitting men. They
The Cosby show.
normalized, yes, like it didn't come off as, but here's the thing, and this is why it's so important that we talk about men being abused, because when you go back and look at these episodes, it doesn't look abusive. But how many times, even the westerns, the old westerns, you got somebody coming up there, he didn't put his hands on you, he didn't do anything, but he did something that you didn't like, or he said something that you didn't like, whop, the woman goes upside his face, and then we just move on with the script and the plot of the story as if that's normal. In Days of Our Lives, and I'm pretty sure, I bet you I can go back and find some episodes from Days of Our Lives, All My Children, where somebody gets upset and a woman slaps the man in the face. Now, there wasn't like haul out punching, fist fighting, scratching abuse, but we shouldn't even normalize. We shouldn't even be normalizing it being okay for a woman to be verbally mistreated or hear something that they don't like, or the man cheated on her and it's all of a sudden okay for you to slap him. Same thing with like Good Times when Penny's mom slapped her. Like, we're normal, and that does happen. I understand Good Times is
Oh,
different.
Penny was Janet Jackson, right?
Yeah. Good Times was a different breed though. It was trying to show you what like ghetto life was and
Yeah.
the challenges that they did face. And you did have parents, black or white, whatever, especially in poor communities, really putting their hands on their kids. But why are we normalizing you slapping a man? Like, even on the sitcoms now, why do we normalize you slapping the man and then the man gritting his teeth, turning his cheek, and then trying to calm her down and hold her down without, showing any physical force to her, and she's still popping off at the mouth and still running behind him and this, that, and the other thing, and he's still supposed to maintain his composure. We shouldn't even be normalizing. You
No.
shouldn't be able to, just like you said, you shouldn't be able to say something to me that makes me so mad that I think it's okay for me to haul off and slap you in the face.
Should be discipline on both sides, yo.
Right.
Unless
And
you're attacking me.
that's why I want to have more conversations with men, because we have to realize that just because you can take it doesn't mean you should. And just because you can take it doesn't make it not abuse. It's still abuse.
Mm.
There is still financial, there's still emotional, there's still mental, there's still psychological abuse that's happening where the woman is the abuser in the relationship. But I mean, it's not that bad, should not be able to be used as an excuse for any woman doing anything. Because as you said with the episode that you were watching, or the special that you were watching, those women probably did slap their husbands or their partners prior to pulling out a chain link and an axe. Like, how does my brain go, let me grab this heavy chain, even if there's not a lock on it? How does my brain say it's okay for me to grab this heavy chain and hit you with it? And
Built up to
then
them
it's
points.
built up.
Mm-hmm.
And the point is, abuse doesn't start at the worst. It's been a
Yeah.
progression.
Test. That's why I said when some of them when some of them learn realize, oh, he don't hit females.
Yep.
Look at that girl on remember on Hustle and Flow?
Yep.
She wanted him to beat on her.
Yep.
And he was so caught up in his music and what he was trying to do, he was trying to do something different. Cause I guess in the beginning throughout the
Mm-hmm.
movie, he was really a pimp. But they
Yep.
never really showed him beating on none of them girls. I think Taraji P. Henson was in there,
Mm-hmm.
the other girl, then
Mm-hmm.
the white girl that was in there. They never showed him actually beating on nobody. But then the other girl, she's still working in a strip club, doing this, that, and the third. So he comes in one day, he's supposed to be at the studio, whatever he was doing. And she like, I was waiting for you all day. You ain't come. I hope you ain't expecting no money from me. This, that, and the third. So he kind of ignoring her. If you go back to
Mm-hmm.
that part of the scene in the movie, she started following him around, popping
Mm-hmm.
all kinds of. And then he turned around and said, "What you said to me?" He said, "I said you a do something about it."
Mm-hmm.
She wanted to fight,
Yes.
and he's like, you know what? He caught himself. He said, "Me and you, we done." That's when he threw her and the baby
Yep.
out. That was a sad scene, but he threw her and the baby out because that was her baby. Put both of them. I put her in the carriage. You
Yep.
out of here, yeah, like that. But that's some of the stuff I'm talking about, like those kind of mental health
Mm-hmm.
situations. Like those situations need to be spoke about and attacked also. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? It can't just be one sided. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
We know we have a lot of men out there that just like beating on females. We also have females out there that like attacking men. You know what I mean? We also have some females out there that have a mental problem or they still suffering from some kind of trauma. And no, I mean, this is how they feel they get their release. And then you got some dudes, same circumstances. You know what I mean? It's back and forth. It's probably more on the man side of abusing a female than it is. I'm not 100% sure. I know I looked at it, It
Mm-hmm.
wasn't too far off, but one of them situations said report it.
Yeah.
So that's
All
not
of it's
100%
reported.
accurate.
Yeah, because we
Yeah,
don't know. Because
because you
so
don't know.
many situations go I didn't report what I went through. I didn't report it. And so there's so many times that men and women are going through things. And now, well, I don't even think, I'm not going to say now, but even to same sex relationships, like the abuse that's in the same sex relationship. And people think that it just,
Stud.
it
Rough.
don't miss anything. Like it doesn't miss any person, any race, any age group, any sexual preference, any sexual orientation. Abuse doesn't miss it, which is why we got to have these conversations, like you said, from every single angle. And the conversation about how you growing up in a traumatic household to the point where you, as the girl, thinks the only way that a person actually loves you is if they're yelling at you, because that's
Yeah.
what you've been conditioned to believe, that that passion is love, and it's not. That passion is lack of self-control, as well as trying to control you and trying to
Hmm.
break you down so that you need me. And we got to talk about it. We got to be fair, and we have to be real, and we have to have these conversations. Like I'll post stuff and I'll have men comment on my stuff, and they're like, well, what about the abusive? What about the women who are abusive and such and such? And I'm like, I want to talk about this,
But they
but
don't, they
but
don't, they
you
don't
want to
want to,
have the
they don't want
conversation?
to bring it. Yeah, they don't want to have a conversation. They just want to put that sentence there and
Yeah.
then disappear.
Yes.
They
I've
probably
invited
scared,
so
thinking you're
many
going to try
men.
to trip them and trap them up and have them saying certain stuff.
I've invited so many men on this show, on this podcast, and very few actually say, yes, I want to talk about it. Like
I
it's,
told you
I,
I was coming.
and into, I will say, I'm going in people's DMs. They don't know me, so they might not even be getting the notification of a request. They might not even check their request sent message. So I'm not saying that they're like ignoring me on purpose, because there's a lot of
Mhm.
times I don't check my request message, because I don't know you. But what I will say is, I want this podcast to be fair. I want people to feel like this truly is what I want it to be, a safe space for you to
Mhm.
tell me what you've experienced. Because if we continue to hide it, if we continue to push it under the rug, dismiss it, say it wasn't that bad, or continue to allow the shame of what we went through silence us, we are not going to help anybody.
Mm. That's a fact.
We can't make, nothing can change until somebody's like, I'm going to stand up and speak share my story, so that other men can see, well, I'm not alone. Like there's nothing about you, when I met you in person, seeing you here, like there's nothing about you, looking at you, hearing you, and feeling your energy and your presence that says you're a punk, right? And that word gets thrown around so easily anyways. But nothing about you says that you're soft in a wimpy way.
Hmm.
Nothing about you says that you're overly sensitive. Not because sensitivity is not a bad thing, but nothing about you says that you're overly sensitive to the point where you are punk like. But with that being said, you still have experienced abuse.
Yeah.
And you got these big guys out there, these tough guys who have endured something far more traumatic growing up, far more traumatic as adults, that we overlook it and we let it slide. And I'm so sick of letting it slide, because we can't have a strong family bond if both parties aren't accountable for their actions
That's a fact.
and their words and how they treat people. Like, yeah, I can easily say you shouldn't talk to a woman like this, blah, 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 blah. Y'all shouldn't be talking to these men like this. You shouldn't be talking to these boys like this. And it
I don't
just,
say some slick stuff to females before, though. I'm not no angel either.
no, and I get it.
I don't say some slick
But
sarcasm or just some
yeah,
slick stuff.
well, I get it. I get it. But my point in saying that is, I feel like we've created an environment where society dis excuses a lot of women's behavior, verbal, even if it's just verbal. They excuse it because you're a man.
Yeah.
And I don't like that, because what are we treating, what are we training our young men to accept? Because you don't, at this point, it's like, well, I want you to value yourself and be strong, but I also want you to allow someone to speak to you like that, allow someone to put their hands on you and you go back. No. At no point should anybody physically try to cause you harm and you be okay with returning to a relationship.
That's true.
So I don't know. I'm not sure which pisses me off more is seeing how these young girls have adapted the mindset of thinking that this is really okay. Like, that really pisses me off, and I think it pisses me off so much because of what I experienced, and I didn't provoke it. Like, I wasn't somebody that was trying. I wasn't in your face, in his face, telling him, "I dare you to do this." And like, no, please walk. Like, just please let me be in my room and you be in a different room. Is what I was on. I'm like, just separate, because I don't like confrontation. He did, though. He thrived off of confrontation and aggression, and he wanted me to give him a reason to do something. But we have it. What pisses me off with the young girls, though, is like they're nagging, they're chasing, they're trying to provoke somebody to do it intentionally.
Yeah.
And it's like, why? What are you getting out of this? Besides more distorted, mentally deranged ideas of what a relationship should be and what love should be and how we should be treating each other if we say we love and respect the other person. It's cray cray out here in these streets. It's cray cray.
Cray cray with a K.
With a K. With a K. So that person, when you were in your 20s, she swung on you first, then you stay with her. Then she stabs you and you still stay with her
Mm-hmm.
because
We
it
still was
wasn't
messing with
that
each
bad.
other for a little while after the situation. I stayed with a female one time that I ain't gonna say she was licensed, by the way, but she ain't shoot at me. But I think she got angry. Look at your face. Yo, the funny thing, we was going back and forth for a minute. I went outside. It wasn't that I was just walking away from the situation. My cousin was calling me. And when he see this, he probably gonna be laughing because he remember that day. So I went outside. I went to the back part of the house. I'm sitting there. I'm on the phone. Just like, pop. He like, yo, what the? I said, this girl over here. We lived at like the wooded areas, and she was licensed. So people be you be when you in the
Yeah.
country, you just be hearing shit
Yeah.
going
Yeah.
on.
Yeah.
But it's like I'm sitting right here, you right here. Like a shell probably could have hit me in my face and everything. So I don't know. I guess that was her way of releasing her anger, or I don't know if she thought she was scaring me. Because in my head, I'm like, man, this girl, man, listen. Like I grew up somewhere with that shit right there was just like birds chirping.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It was so normal.
But I think that was I don't know. I guess that was a way of releasing her anger, but you releasing it right next to me. This was like years ago too.
So she doesn't point the gun in your direction.
No. She ain't pointing in my direction or nothing.
Okay.
She just came out there, and then all of a sudden, like,
Just all off in the air. Just.
and then just walk back in. I started
But see,
laughing. My cousin's like, yo, you better stop laughing. Nigga, once you come back out there. I said, yo, bro, I'm not worried about none of that, man.
here's the thing, though. You're not worried about it. Okay. However, and some people might not agree with me on this, that's still a form of abuse because she did it for an intimidation factor.
Yeah, but
And it might not have intimidated you.
yeah, I understand what you're saying, but I don't know. Is that sick that I was laughing at that shit?
No, that's just your conditioning.
Oh, yeah, about to
Because
say,
one, you didn't feel threatened by it, right? You
nah,
had
hell
no intention to do anything in response to it, to back to her. It's just you grew up conditioned, like you said. You hear this stuff is like birds chirping. This is nothing that's going to scare you. But in her mind, she's trying to intimidate you. Successful or not, that's what the intent is behind. Because why? I could have, why would I go outside just when you go outside to do this? I could have waited till you came back inside. I could have waited till you left and I could have released my stress that way. But the mindset behind it, and I'm not saying that I know what she's thinking, but if I'm just going to put duck two together, I'm saying the mindset behind it was this is an intimidation tactic. And in a lot of abusive relationships where firearms are involved, I can only speak mainly because I've only had these conversations with women. They're pulling out guns like it's been plenty of times a gun has been pulled out empty and the woman's like, well, it was empty. I'm like, it don't matter. One, it could have been something in the chamber. We never know, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the point is, it was pulled out to intimidate.
Yeah.
And at no point are we supposed to, like, that's not healthy relationship. That's intimidation is a form of abuse because it's a psychological abuse.
Psychological abuse, yeah.
And I can control, it doesn't affect you, Deadeye, but somebody could have, like, ain't no telling what other boyfriend she did this on.
Yeah.
And it really could have been like, oh, shoot, I don't even know. Like, they could have been frozen. And now they're thinking, like, do I stand still? Do I move? What do I do? I know she can shoot. Am I, like, at some point down in the future, is she going to, like, decide to turn it on me? Like, all of that just from that one action.
Yeah.
So it don't make you crazy. You're conditioned to not feel threatened by something like that because of what you've experienced throughout your life, what you've lived throughout your life. But everybody has different levels of
That's what I
what
was
they
about
can
to ask
handle.
you. You think it's different and it's different based off the environment too? Like that's what creates the difference. Like say you grew up in a being silver spoon house or whatever. You know what I mean? You grew up in a real nice environment, both parents, don't seem like y'all needed for nothing, this, that, and the third. And you'll experience some of the stuff that a person that grew up in the hood experienced. It might get treated different because in the hood, you seeing so much rough stuff. It's like, bro, she stabbed you with a punk ass fork. You
Right.
crying? That shit ain't even, man, you don't even need stitches.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But if it was like a different environment or a different caliber of person, that might be total traumatizing.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? And then back in the days, back in those times too, you see how you just said that's psychological trauma. It wasn't meanings to a lot of that stuff back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it wasn't, and nobody put meanings. So I think Charlamagne the God was talking about how like before the internet and certain things, it wasn't this mean that to do this,
Yeah.
it could cause this. Nah, it was just like it happened and whatever. Now you probably go out, get something to drink. Next thing you know, you walking back in the house and y'all hugging and kissing again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then now it's like everything got so many meanings. And then now it's like you just starting to realize that a lot of us have suffered from certain kind of traumas that went bloodline deep on what our
Mm-hmm.
ancestors went through in this country. And
Yes.
before, people used to be like, well, you ain't go through slavery, you ain't go through abuse, you ain't go through, but not realizing that all scientists find out that blood, those bloodlines, it still passes over.
Yeah.
I mean, it still be something there that you don't even know that was there. Why you feel a certain way, why you operate a certain way. They did a number on us. Then got to think about it. Even back then, they kind of set it up for the man and female to be against each other.
Mm-hmm.
Make the man feel a certain way towards the female. And then I'll be thinking about that too sometime. Like some of these dudes can have that mental situation of when slave masters empowered black women over black men to make them feel a certain way. You know what I'm saying? And
Yes.
how it kind of like passed on, even in certain corporate worlds, certain kind of situations. I mean, it could be so much thing. It's like scientists and a lot of philosophers was breaking down so many different reasons why some of these situations could happen, or you could have these kind of traumas and you don't even know that you have it. So they was basically saying the kind of stuff that you be thinking, or the kind of stuff that you be thinking while you're in a relationship, or the way you be wanting to react, you probably be needing to talk to somebody.
Mm-hmm.
That's where you get the healing from, because now they probably could basically break down the understanding of what is that. All right, that might be this, or why you feel like you need to do that, or this, that, and the third. You know what I'm saying? And then some dudes, you got to think about it. Some dudes that be beating on females, you think they're going to kind of feel comfortable going to a therapist? What if the therapist is a female? And be like, I want to talk about why I always put my hands on females. Like, I'll be just, this, that, and the third. They probably won't even feel comfortable
They
talking
might
about
not
that.
feel comfortable, or they might not feel like she deserves respect. Like, because some of them, like you said, they just put their hands on females. They might not even feel she can do anything. Like, they might be looking at her like, well, you just another female, you
Yeah,
know? And I mean, the healing part comes, like you said, through talking about things and communicating. But so many people have so much hurt and trauma buried deep down inside that they don't want to go through the pain of actually addressing it. Like you're saying, so much stuff is passed down scientists through the bloodline, like it's generational. Like on the Notorious B.I.G. movie, when no, was it the movie, or I might have seen an interview with Faith Evans. I can't remember if it was on the movie or if it was an interview with Faith Evans
I know
actually.
that whole movie. So when you say what it is, I'm probably
Okay,
going to know
okay,
if it was in
okay.
that movie
So
or not.
there was a conversation that was had after Biggie had died, and Faith was saying how their daughter, or maybe what, she had the son by him, right? And he
He
had a
had
daughter by somebody
CJ.
else. His son, she's like, he has so many tendencies that Biggie has, even though he never watched his father.
Never seen him. And I seen him before. And I'm like, that's crazy. But I seen that with numerous
Exactly.
kids that I knew and their fathers probably had passed on. I'm like, yo, he act just like his father. Look just like his father.
Yes.
The same way he is like his father.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
Mannerisms. And that's the stuff that's passed down through the bloodlines, which is why I really wholeheartedly believe that people who experience abuse, even though, like for me, I didn't grow up in a household where I witnessed it, but
yeah,
I do believe it's been in my family, but it's not been talked about.
you grew up with both parents?
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Which goes back to you saying um, the varying degrees of a person
mhm.
versus someone who grew up in the hood. I lived that. Like, I didn't grow up in the hood, but he did. He grew up in Gate City, which is a hood in Birmingham. He
Yeah.
grew up in Gate City, and there was a time I remember, like, he was, I don't know what we were arguing about. He was getting, I think I was probably getting ready to leave, and the baby was in the house, and so he would do a lot of controlling. From, if I told him I was getting ready to leave, he would leave, so I couldn't, because somebody had to stay home with the baby. And or no, was I pregnant? I might have been pregnant. Either way, we might only have one car, something stupid. He pulls off, like I'm sitting in the passenger seat with the door open, so he cannot leave, so that I can, like, he doesn't, so he's not able to control me. Well, he takes off and the door is open and he doesn't even care. Whereas I'm like, this is crazy. And then he has a conversation with me about it later when we make up. And he's like, I know that, we're from two different neighborhoods, and this probably was, traumatizing for you, but for me, this was nothing, and blah, blah, like trying to make it seem like it was okay. And it's not. Even though there are varying degrees of what a person's threshold is, doesn't
Mhm.
take away the fact, and it shouldn't be able to minimize or dilute the fact that is still abuse and intimidation. Whether you intimidate or not, if my intent is to intimidate you, it's still abuse. Because just because you can take it, when I get in this next relationship with somebody who didn't grow up the way that you grew up, this is going to have a totally different effect on them. It's going to have the effect that I want it to have on them. And she probably did that to somebody before you, which is why she did it with you, because she's seen how it affected the other person before you. Like, oh yeah,
Yeah,
this absolutely
could have been.
works. And so I want to highlight stuff like that, to let guys like you know that just because it doesn't affect you the way that it could, or affects other people doesn't mean that it's okay. Doesn't mean that it should be not considered as what it is. And like you said, we have names for things now. And I think because we have names for things now, it allows for more understanding and transparency of what we've experienced and what we've lived through. Because it's just saving you from the opportunity to be killed. Like, why are we pulling our guns? Like, why? If you ever just sit down and ask, like, why is this gun out right now? It ain't hunting season. You ain't at the range.
One of them, wish she was a correction officer or a police officer. You didn't see that recently?
What?
She lured her ex-boyfriend to the parking lot of the police station and shot him up.
No. You got to send that to me.
How you don't be seeing all this?
I don't know, because I be looking for stuff.
You're an advocate for the left wing, huh?
No, I be looking for
You
stuff.
supposed to be bipartisan.
Send it to me. Send it to me so I can comment on it. Because I promise I be looking for stuff.
I know it came up recently on Instagram only because I think it was something, maybe she was going to court or whatever, but it was something like her and her boyfriend was arguing, whatever. She might have been a correction officer because I believe the story was they was messing with each other while he was incarcerated. He came home, they was messing with each other for a while, then he didn't want to mess with her no more. And I guess she kept calling him, whatever they going through, like, oh, why are we doing this, whatever. And she like wanted him to pull up to the parking lot so they could talk, something like that. It's allegedly what they put out there. You know what I'm saying? And when he got to the parking lot, she started popping. I think he lived, though. I believe so.
I'm going to look that up, too. You giving me homework assignments.
When you type it in, you probably going to get a whole list of them.
Right. You giving me homework assignments because we going to talk about this. Like, it is so
gotta
important.
Look up the one with the special about when is it okay for a man to defend himself?
Yes.
Female, you're going to see if that come up, you're going to be sitting there looking at them dudes like, damn.
Right. I got to write this stuff down.
and then the one, she lured him in the parking lot and just, because he didn't want to be with her no more. All right. But how do you deal with, all right, y'all allegedly y'all supposed to react different. Y'all supposed to think with emotions. Men supposed to think with logic. I'm not gonna lie to you. They feminizing a lot of these dudes nowadays. So some of that switching around, because you be seeing a lot of, I don't know if they're eating too much soy and they got all that estrogen in it. You having a lot of dudes that be operating like females out here, which we call them, but they be way more feminine than the norm should be. So I'm sitting there wondering, I'm like, damn, it's because some of the stuff that the government do to a mass of to people like to do certain things it takes years to actually work. You know what I mean? So it's like if you're locking up all these fathers, leaving all these boys to be raised by females, they watching females. Now, don't get me wrong, my father was gone. I was around my mother, but I had a lot. I think I had like 40 something first cousins on my mother's side. It's a lot of us. So I had a lot of boy cousins, uncles. You know what I'm saying? Like I ran around with my uncles too. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. So that manly, that alpha male thing was always around me. I always seen it. You know what I mean? My father's best friends and stuff at the time, my godfather and them. So it wasn't like I'm just around a bunch of females. You know what I'm saying? So looking at certain other people might not have that.
Right.
So now it's like they're around females, her sisters, the mothers, the grandmothers, the aunt, and they picking up these feminine traits. And the way they see females respond to certain things, they picking up the same things. And now they become a catty thing. Like you a man, she a female. She's going to do certain emotional stuff. She's a female if you study females, but you're doing the catty stuff right back with her. Like it's like something really missing there. Something missing there for you to be like the discipline or like, all right, them words ain't doing nothing to me. You know what I mean? I'm built different. You know what I'm saying? Or to step away from certain situations and stuff like that. You actually see some some boys standing there just going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, twisting their neck a certain way, all kinds of shit. It's different. And that's when I think sometimes when I look at certain things too, with some dudes fighting females, I be like, yo, but look into that dude history. He got a whole lot of feminine about him already.
Yeah.
So in his mind, he all right with fighting a female. Because he don't see himself as an alpha male.
I've also seen commentary about men who project themselves as alpha men, but they're abusive, and they're abusive because there's something inside them that they don't like that's feminine.
That's
Like, it's
feminine.
almost like they're trying to overcompensate for the thing that they're insecure about, whether it be I don't know if they're homophobic, like I don't know,
Yeah,
or if
that's
they
true too.
might be
That's
attracted to
true too.
men, but they're trying to deny it. And so they're overly aggressive and they're overly
Trying to prove
alpha,
something and trying to
and they take it out
all
on the
this
women.
extra. Yeah, yeah. That's a super fact.
Yeah. So I've seen that too.
I
I
thought you
mean,
about to pull out a cigarette. I say, ew. Nah, son. You fucked it all up. Like, what the oh man, I'm about to say, nah, I ain't see that one, bro.
it's lip gloss.
All right, you good now, but damn, I thought that was a cigarette for a minute. I still you see me I blink like 4 times. Ew, nah, no cigarettes, B. It was cute on Betty Boo. It's over now.
Oh my gosh, I'm so tickled. Oh, I love this. I love this stuff. So, so past her, were you in any other relationships where, I
Yeah,
mean,
I
you
got
might not get
stabbed another
stabbed and
time.
stuff. You got stabbed again
Yeah, I got
by
stabbed another
somebody
time.
else?
Yeah.
Why?
I
Like,
don't even
hold on,
remember the whole
let's
thing.
pause and just listen to how you just said it. Yeah, I got stabbed another time. I
Yeah, I didn't
mean,
like end up in no hospital or
it's a
nothing like that, but yeah,
Wednesday
I got stabbed another time.
with another fork.
Nah, this was a knife.
Okay.
Then what was coming? What she hit me in my face with? That's where that mark come from. I was leaking like hell. A cell phone. Bah!
She threw it at you.
That shit just said.
Split. She hit that cheekbone.
I
Why? Okay,
probably was
why did you
smiling
get
too much.
stabbed?
I just be smiling sometimes. I could be dead angry and I'll be smiling. So I think sometimes when certain shit going on and I'm smiling, that triggers people or some
It
shit.
probably does. And I believe too, it's a not necessarily a defense mechanism, but it's a mechanism that you have to realign your emotional state so that you don't go off the handle. I don't know. I could just be making up stuff, but you could be smiling because it's like, remember, it ain't even that serious. It ain't even worth this. This is dumb. Because if you don't have that regulator, you could easily go, like, that could easily be a,
Snap.
like, yes,
Sometimes you're
easily.
smiling like I know I can
Yeah,
slam you in your head, but I'm
yes.
not gonna do no shit like that. But
Yeah.
I'm not saying it because now if I say it,
Mm-hmm.
it's like do it.
You provoking it. Right. You're provoking
So
her
in
to
my head,
provoke
I'm
you.
like, yo, son. And
That's what I'm
I
trying to
think
teach
them
these
smiles
kids.
ain't and that phone, the corner too, like, wow.
Yeah. It was perfect. Just like that, just like the guy you said who got hit in the eye with the lock. Like, that was like,
Yeah, that
it
chain
was
and
a
that lock,
perfect,
it was
yeah.
over for him.
That's crazy. That's what I'm trying to teach
I'm
these
like,
kids though.
I understood his pain because I have one out too. So I'm like, damn, you ain't even know that, did you?
Yeah, you so sick. Yes.
So I understood his pain. I'm like,
Yes.
damn, he had to readjust his
Yeah.
equilibrium and all that. You couldn't run up them steps the same way. You couldn't ride the
Yep.
bike and all. You had to like relearn all that all over again. I'm like, kid, and see, and the way his looked at like twisted because it looked like he had like stitches all by like his face,
Wow.
like it was
Yeah.
there. So this was like some different
Yeah.
that lock and that chain that just him up.
That's
I don't
crazy.
even remember how many times he supposed to got hit with it. Could have been once, could have been twice. I don't know, but he said she was just
But
swinging
she
that
was
thing.
swinging. Yeah.
Yeah,
She
she was
had to be
swinging that
swinging. It's already got enough of its own weight and momentum behind it anyways. You don't have to be that strong to do a lot of damage with something like that. That's wild. But you laughing and smiling like I know I could do something to you, but I'm not going to do it. Is what I'm trying to teach these kids. Like confidence isn't proving that you can win the fight. It's knowing that you can win the
It's
fight, but
knowing,
choosing to walk away.
just knowing.
It's just knowing that you could do it and not taking the bait.
Mm-hmm.
Why did she stab you? I can't get past that
I
because you
don't
like
even
I got
remember
stabbed
that
again with a knife.
100%. It had to be an argument or something. I don't know. Maybe she said I cheated or something. I don't know.
Where did she stab you?
In my back.
Because you were walking away.
Yeah. I wasn't leaving out. I wasn't leaving out. I was just
You
walking
just
down the hallway. Yeah. I didn't even actually know I was really poked until I went in the bathroom. Then I went, what the f-? I pulled my shirt off and I looked. Cause she knew what she did. She turned back the other way when she stabbed me. I didn't actually feel it at that second. I think I was tipsy and everything. So you know when you're a
but
little numb off
yeah.
drinking, you ain't really feel that
Yeah.
shit.
It wasn't deep enough though for you to need stitches or anything.
Nah,
But why we still like
She actually cut herself too.
I can
She
imagine.
cut her
I can
hand.
believe that.
She ain't need no stitches, but she was bleeding too, and then she was in there playing victim and shit looking sad, watching all that, watching the blood on her hand, and they act like it's my fault. I didn't
Right.
put the knife in your hand to stab me. Why y'all like starting arguments when y'all in the kitchen cooking?
Whoa,
Got the
whoa,
weapons
no,
there?
not y'all. No. No, nah.
I
Don't
just
put me in
realized
that.
that.
Don't put me in
Both of
that.
them
That's them.
incidents, both of them incidents came from the kitchen.
That's them. That ain't me.
That's that
That's not
Tyler Perry movie. Bring them in
that.
the kitchen, have that conversation, and throw them
Yep.
hot grits and all that
Yep.
crazy.
Yep. That ain't me.
Yeah, y'all be sending signals. That's them
That
back
ain't me.
signals. Yeah. Like it's the
That's
new
that
list.
trauma
Yo,
that
we
they
got
grew.
some new stuff for how
They've
y'all to get
seen
them.
that before, which is why it's a thought. Like they've seen it before, and that's why the thought has gone from thought to action.
Thought to action.
They've seen it. And it's just like I think how we got so many kids these days, it's just like killing folks as if life doesn't matter anymore. It's
Mm-hmm.
so out of control because they've seen so much death on social media that they're desensitized to the fact that you're ending someone's life and you okay with it and you don't think anything about it.
So much.
So much. Way
You know,
more than
back
it
in the
used to
days,
be.
the whole world be watching one big trauma at a time.
Mm-hmm.
Like the whole country locked into what the happened.
Yep.
Now it's like this happened Thursday, but
Back,
Saturday another
back,
one happened.
back.
Monday this happened. Then a little baby get killed. And you're like, and you know you feeling it, but then it's like 2 days later somewhere else.
Something
You
else happened. Mm-hmm.
know what I'm saying? Because back then it was in your environment.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't hear about in Ohio. You didn't
Mm-hmm.
hear about California. You didn't hear about Mississippi or Alabama if you in Florida or if you over there. So you when it happened in your environment, you know me, the whole environment had
Yes.
that black cloud over it. But now it's like it happens on the internet and it's like bang, 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 bang,
Here we
bang,
go
bang,
again.
bang, bang, bang. Yeah. Like constantly happening.
Mm-hmm. I think that's what it is
And
because
it's desensitizing everybody.
there's so much exposure to it.
I read something one time that said you gotta sometimes you have to detach yourself from social media for a certain amount of time just to balance out your level
Yep.
of sensitivity to harsh things happening and stuff like that in the
Hmm.
world. Because I just like imagine back in those days, right? With them big wooden TVs, you sitting there watching what
Yeah.
was going on in Gaza. You probably had nightmares about that.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Now it's like watching a video game.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Because the video games got so much of certain stuff in it. And then now you sitting there, it's like right now you don't hear nothing about Gaza no more.
Mm-hmm.
But they still over there getting wiped down bad. You know what I'm saying? Kids, hospitals getting blown up, schools. And it's like everybody's like on high alert and sensitive to it when you first seeing it, boom, boom,
Yeah.
boom. But as time go on, it's like you got numb to that and some new excitement going on.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you passed it. It's like we're not staying at the problem until it's a solution.
Correct.
So much is happening so fast, it's
It's
just
just
going.
coming at you. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just going. Or
And they really don't think about the consequences. They don't think about who all is impacted. It's just, oh well. And I'm like, y'all really don't care about life, period. You're living in the moment and you don't think about 20 years. And I'm not gonna lie, when I was a teenager, I wasn't thinking
I'm
what
about to
life
say,
would be
I'm
like
sitting
when
here
I'm
thinking to
30
you
and all this
now.
other stuff. But
We was super numb, conditioned to still be kind of numb to a whole lot of stuff.
yeah,
But this is the thing. For me, I accept it, but I wouldn't want that for the youth. You
yeah,
see what I'm saying?
yep.
I wouldn't want that for the youth. But the thing is, sometimes when you, all right, just say for instance, as far as that, and not getting off the subject, say you see a kid and you like stay in school, stay in school, stay in school, stay in school, yo, bro, stay in school. And when you come back around, he already jumped head first in the streets. Now, this the thing. Do you just stand back and watch him go all the way down? Or do you at least try to give him some kind of jewels to survive the harshness of it?
Mm,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
But then somebody may look at it like, oh, he was schooling him to the street.
yep.
No, you probably trying to give him some jewels and hoping
To
he
survive.
survived this shit. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Because he already went in there. He already jumped head first in. Regardless of how many times you told him, leave that. That's like a revolution. It's like a revolutionary. Like Dave Chappelle said, a revolutionary's life was so harsh and lonely and a
Mm-hmm.
lot of trauma and wear and tear on your body. The same shit with the streets.
Yeah.
Yeah, you go through stages, God forbid, if you get locked up for lots of people, you're alone in there. Even if you got support and family, you're still alone in there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Them visits is an hour, them phone calls, certain amount of time, boom, boom, boom. So now you're going through that. That's a wear and tear on your mind, on your body, thinking. Imagine being in prisons and stuff when COVID hit and
Mm-hmm.
you watching people getting carried out. Now you like,
Yep.
is you about to get carried out? Catches you don't really know what's going on. Nobody acting like they really know what's going on. You know what I mean? So it's
Mm-hmm.
just a whole lot of wear and tear getting, you betrayed by people that you knew for millions of years. Just the trauma of it all anyway. You don't want to wish that on nobody. Even if you already numb to whatever may come from that lifestyle or that past lifestyle. Because you know how they say sometimes your past could spin back on you.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I've seen situations where dudes change their life, move somewhere and change their life totally, and somehow they still died from some street.
Wow.
You watch Martin Luther King say nonviolent, 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 and violence
Yep.
still took him out.
Yep.
So, mm,
It's just it's a lot of education and a lot of conversation and a lot of not taking your foot off the gas because, and you touched on this earlier about being conditioned on how women should be treated and things like that, like and how they put the black man against the black woman and vice and all of the things. Like even if you look at the music videos, like the the owners of the music, they're promoting what they want to promote. So they're pushing all the negativity that these boys can think and sing and say about young girls. They're pushing all the negativity that these young girls can say about each other and about the boys. And like they're feeding that fire. Because
yeah,
R&B isn't as strong as it used to be. and they're not pushing the narrative of what a lot of R&B was like. If you listen to the lyrics, it's still jacked up, but they don't push the narrative of a strong black love, a black family,
Yeah.
a black
Yep.
connection. It's what can I do to put this out here to make you want this and think this is what's supposed to go along with it, which is why these kids idolize these other kids. They're idolizing them for the money. That's the bait. Once I get you in here trying to chase this money, you're going to think that in order to get it, you got to act and behave and treat other people like this to get that. And you don't. And I'm just like, just abuse all around is so unnecessary. And it shows a lack of communication skills, because it's a reflection of how you're not able to have self-control and communicate. It's temper tantrums on a bigger
Mhm.
scale. A toddler has not learned how to effectively communicate their needs, their wants, and desires. So they get on the floor, they scream, they throw a fit, they yell, and they do all these things. If they're continued to be raised that way without learning how to effectively communicate with their words, that's when you grow up, you scream and you yell at the person you say loves you. You love them. Your parents scream and yell at you and then turn around and tell you they love you. And this is what you think is supposed to be. You getting hit with stuff, that mama throwing stuff at you. Now you get out there in the world and you do the same thing, or you witness it, your dad doing this to your mom, or your mom doing this to your dad, and you get out there as the girl and you do this to boys, or you get out there as the boy and you do this to girls, and it just continues on because we don't know how to communicate effectively what's really
Yes.
happening. Like in A Thin Line Between Love and Hate, when Martin meets the old girl at the bar and he's cursing and she's like where your vocabulary at? Like, use your vocabulary. But if you don't have a vocabulary and all you can fall back on is curse words, then what we got? You can't communicate effectively. There are people who are educated and curse, and then there are people who just curse. Those two different people. That's two different mindsets.
That's a
T.I.
fact.
is highly educated and he cuss,
Mm-hmm.
but he's highly educated. He know more words and you know what I'm saying than the average anybody. And he knows this, like, business systems and strategies. He's taken what he learned from the streets and he realized how to
Place that blueprint over the corporate
yes,
world.
over the yes.
Yeah.
And he curses. But our kids don't see that. They just see the cursing and the video girls and the guns and the
And
money.
not realizing all the business that's going on behind the scenes. Them same dudes, they're not spinning around for spinning blocks.
Right.
They in the corporate building. They trying to get an advance on their next album.
The ones who know how to work the system, yes,
Yeah.
and not get worked. Exactly.
Nah,
And
that's a super
so
fact.
we just gotta
You got to think too. All right. Right now, if a group come out like Public Enemy
mm-hmm.
and they talking about government and world peace and this that, and the third, which major label you think gonna sign them?
Nobody.
Exactly. So when they seeing what's popping, that's
Mm-hmm.
that's how they're gonna rap. That's what they're going to.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? That's the way they're going because they like this. What I need to do to get on.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And so
Yeah.
if you really wanted certain things to change, you're gonna also change what you're accepting into your label.
Yeah.
But they're not controlled by certain people. So why would they change it? They there for
Mm-hmm.
profit, not for people,
Right.
not for peace. They there for profit because they don't have to live inside the chaos that is causing it.
Correct.
Saying you on top of the hill, you away from all that. They think is, man, they parents supposed to tell them that this is just entertainment, this is just music, this, that, and the third. But what if you don't have those parents that sitting down to tell you that? You
And
accepting
most of them
that
don't.
shit is that's the way of life,
Yeah.
even though it's way much more, way much
Exactly.
more. Wow.
It's adopted habits and adopted beliefs. From that aspect, from the world of abuse aspect, like if you don't have somebody telling you that this is not acceptable and it's not okay, you think it's acceptable. Or you don't think it's okay, but it's still obviously acceptable on some level because you don't leave it. You don't walk away from it. You don't get to a point where you're saying, okay, I'm not, this ain't it. Let me just go. There's plenty of other people out there that I can talk to and they would treat me way better than this. And
Yeah.
so we gotta communicate and get everybody on the page of understanding what you should accept and what you shouldn't accept. Like I don't believe relationships should involve anybody raising their voice at each other. Like if we can't have a conversation and communicate without yelling, we don't need somebody got to work on something. And it might be both of us, but we don't need to be together until why do I have to yell at you for me to feel like you care? Like you said, she yelling at you, she yelling at you, she yelling at you. And when you shut down and get quiet, it enrages her. Why is that your response to a man not fighting back with his words, not meeting you at the bottom, but being quiet enough? Like, if you want to argue, then go ahead and argue, but you're going to argue by yourself.
So when you get up, all right, in a relationship, if the man or the female get upset, you feel like never no time in a relationship should they ever raise their voice? Because I have seen relationships, and I have been in relationships where we might have raised our voice and then laugh about the shit. It
Mm-hmm.
never, it then like like all my relationships ain't result in me getting stabbed. So don't try to put that on top of the screen. Like, man got stabbed in every relationship. Like, don't, don't try to
She stabbed
clickbait.
him with a knife.
Don't clickbait me like that, yo. Or, but now, I mean, I've been in relationships where we might, yeah, we might like argue and then she go that way, I go this
Mm-hmm.
way, and then later on, I might be sitting in the living room, or vice versa. She in the living room, I'm in the bedroom, and then next thing you know, and I probably walk her back in the living room and just sit there. Or I might be just sitting in the living room. All of a sudden, she come in there and she's cooking something or doing something, and then she just bring me a plate. There, just look at her like, "Oh, you crazy, yo!"
Yeah.
Like,
I'm to a point now where
or is debating is it's not argument? Is debating healthy?
I think that it's okay to have disagreements. I'm to a place now mentally where my next relationship, I don't want either of us to yell at each other. I think that we should be able to have a disagreement without me feeling that I have to raise my voice for you to get my point. Because in all honesty, a lot of times if we are raising our voice, it's because we're trying to talk over the other person.
For the other person.
So we're not even actually having a conversation at this point, because if we're in a relationship and you're yelling at me and I'm yelling at you, I'm not clearly interested in anything that you have to say, because I'm just trying to get you to hear what I have to say. But if we're talking and communicating what the problem is, I should have enough self-control as your spouse to let
Mhm.
you tell me what the issue is that you have with this, and
Yeah.
then make sure I understand what your issue is and not just think what I think you heard. Make sure I'm comprehending what you're saying before I even say is what's the like before I even get to focusing on the solution.
Hmm.
But we can't, I mean, I don't know, because I haven't been in a relationship since I left that Harpo. So I don't want to be in a relationship where
How long ago was that?
I left in 2022, the end of 2022. So it'll be 4 years this year.
Oh, 4 years.
Hmm. I don't want it. Like, I don't want,
Felt freedom.
oh my gosh,
Uh,
baby, so free.
I'm not talking about because of like whatever you saying, like the negatives that y'all went through. I'm just
Mhm.
saying, just free of a relationship. Period.
I feel that I want to continue to work on me so that I can be the version of myself that attracts the type of man that I want. and that
Okay.
I deserve. And that takes understanding what kind of trauma that I haven't healed from whatever past relationships. You know, because
Mm-hmm.
I was once saying like I don't want to date anybody that drinks anymore. If you drink alcohol, you off the list. And then I realized I'm like that's actually a trauma response because he was abusing alcohol, and I've been with other people who abused alcohol. I'm using their actions to dictate somebody else that ain't got nothing to do
Somebody
with it.
else. Yeah.
When in reality, I'm not. There are people who actually drink responsibly.
I was
Seriously.
say you wiped out
Yeah,
75% of the country once you said that one.
exactly. And so I see, like, I'm able to see certain things about myself that I'm saying I'm not going to accept. And I'm like, wait a minute, is that really what I like? Do I really care? Am I passionate about that? Or is that a trauma response to what I've experienced and I'm afraid will repeat?
Mm.
That's why I'm not pursuing, well, I'm not going to pursue a relationship anyway. I'm supposed to be found. But that's why I haven't been in a relationship because I don't think I'm there yet to be, I don't think I'm the version of me that attracts the type of man that I want. And I'm not even giving off the energy that I'm looking for. I don't think I'm not intentionally, giving off the energy that I'm looking for a
You,
relationship.
you, you came in the room with a lot of energy that
I mean,
day.
I have the energy now.
you,
Please
you,
believe.
you woke up a whole lot of people in that room when you came in the room. Like, and she got the light on her.
Baby,
She
that's
got
how.
that Leroy glow.
Come on. Come on, baby. That's going to be some of my stage music right there when you got that glow. That's what I'm talking about. That's my jam. That's my jam. But yes, and you know why, like, I'm able to walk in that now because when I was in that relationship, like, he was taking that glow away from me. Like, he was literally sucking the life out of me. And so I want to be able to step in any room, in every room, not to be like, oh, look at me, but to really just be myself. And if myself makes you see me, that, like, I can't do nothing about it, but I'm still going to want to be me regardless of where I am. And so that's where I am right now. I'm just like, well, let me just get myself in order and figure out all this stuff. Cause like we had the podcast, and I know we way off topic right now, but we had the little podcast summit, and they talking about monetizing and stuff. I'm like, dang, I feel like I got to go back and figure everything else all over again. So I'm like, how do I do that with this? And I don't know where it's going to be. I don't know how it's going to go, but I do believe God is going to reveal to me how I need to turn this platform into just a platform as being a safe space, but to a platform that also can profit, that I can live off of. So I'm not depending on somebody else's check to make sure that me and my kids survive. Like, I love what I do at the school, but I also don't want that to be my crutch.
Yeah, that's a fact.
And so these conversations need to be had, they need to happen. But then at the end of the day, I also got to figure out how I can use this to get paid some kind of way,
Yeah.
if we being honest. But I don't know what that's going to look like. I don't know how that is, but I'm excited about whatever it's coming to and whatever it's going to be. And in the meantime, I am thrilled. Like, these interviews and these conversations, they're exhausting because we sit on here for 2 hours, 2.5 hours, 3 hours. Then I'm like, but I love being on here. Before I
Yeah.
get on, I'll be like, oh, dang, I'm like, dang, they didn't cancel it. Because I'll be looking for cancel. Because I mean, I have interviews, backed up, like waiting to be edited, waiting to go. But I'm like, dang, they didn't get canceled. But then I get on here and I'm like, yes, this is like passion. This is what I love. This is what I know I'm here for, a part of what I'm here for. Then I get off and I'm like, and like, it's so exhausting, but it's so important. And I can't stop.
hmm
I can't stop doing this because I truly believe that God has opened this space for me. And I don't know that there's another space like this that's happening. Not necessarily a space that's all about giving you, I believe that there are a lot of spaces where we're talking about tactics and strategy to
Mm-hmm.
heal, strategy to escape, and all the other things. I think this space is so important because voices have been silenced, because there are misconceptions, because you, not you, but you in general as men, most of the time write stuff off as it's not that bad, or it didn't do, like it's still wrong. And it has to be shared so that somebody else can see, who can't necessarily endure or doesn't have the threshold that you have, can see that, oh, well, this is wrong. Oh, I'm not alone. Oh, she shouldn't be able to do this, that, and third. Oh, it is okay for me to call the police. Or it is okay for me to leave and let somebody else be mistreated that way. I don't have to stand here because I do deserve more. And that's why I have to keep doing this. I have to keep having these conversations, because the beauty of it is seeing the different countries that come on here, the different ages that come on here, the different locations, like the different upbringings. You got people who
Mm-hmm.
saw abuse coming up. You got people who were never experienced. You got people who came from the perfect household. And still,
Yeah.
because conversations aren't being had about it, because somebody in their family did. And I'll be asking questions, and then they'll be like, whoa, okay. Wow, yeah, I do remember my great grandfather or my mom saying something about my great grandfather doing this, that, and the third. But we're not talking about this to our generation and our next generation. And that's where I wanted to stop. Like, I wanted to stop with this podcast, or this podcast be the thing that starts opening up the ability to have these conversations. Because, like you said, remember when Terry Crews came out and said he was sexually assaulted and said he was abused and all the things that he went through as a young boy? Like, you looking at this big black dude with all these muscles, and most people was like, boy, if you don't go somewhere with that, and I ain't gonna lie, I was one of them. I was like, here he go. I'm like, this was all during the Me Too movement. So then you
Yeah.
got, not only do you have the boy, if you don't go somewhere with that, you also have the, oh, he just trying to come up here, taking the spotlight off the women. Like, it's so many things that are distracting us from the fact that this man was abused. And it's not okay. And it should
Nobody
be
trying to
okay.
believe or hear that.
But don't nobody want to hear it, when we should be able to. Everybody can hear the person
But
who
if
did the
somebody
abusing.
came out the other way around, pardon me, but
You saying the same thing I was just about to
if
say.
some
Go
female
ahead.
would have popped up on Instagram talking about Terry Crews assaulted her and abused her, that shit would have went viral
Yes.
all over the place. His picture would have been everywhere. He'd have had the spotlight for the wrong reason,
Yes.
except for the fact he's just trying to come out. And I guess maybe a part of his therapy was to try to, you know, present it to your family, or
Mm-hmm.
tell it to the world so you can heal, so you can release it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And get it from within, and it's doing something to you in there. And that was him trying to do it. And they like, oh, get
Yeah.
the out of here. Everybody
Yeah.
want to hear that.
Right. And be the example, like knowing how many years and decades he lived with this trauma hidden, being out there to say this so that these other little boys don't have to go through years and decades thinking that they're the only person has ever experienced this, or
Yeah.
that they have to try to manage it on their own. Like, therapy is okay. As a matter of fact, you should get it. And this does happen to little boys too. And it ain't just the little boys who go to Catholic schools.
The crazy
So,
shit is, I refused them therapies numerous of times when I was younger
mm-hmm.
because I've been shot more than once.
Mm,
And they used to always try to, they'd try to have you go to a guidance counselor
yeah,
or whatever, whatever.
you don't want to hear
Right
it.
now, it's like more of like Charlamagne the God, got I think J. Cole. You got a lot of people now speaking more out about mental health because
Yeah,
back then it was like a nigga suffer in silence.
yeah,
Deal with it on your own.
yeah.
Just no, I mean whatever, man. Suck it up, get over it. It was different. Now it's like they telling you you're gonna enjoy more in life if
Mm-hmm.
you heal from it. And just
Yeah.
so more people is going to mental health. I read a book from it's a female. It's called The Unapologetic Guide to Black Mental Health.
Okay.
Never read that?
Uh-uh.
And she was breaking down how other people's traumas is different from black people's trauma.
It is.
Man, very much so different. Like you can't really just take the average black boy or girl from out of the ghettos and put them in front of a therapist that came from an environment that have, you know what I mean,
Yeah.
in their neighborhood, somebody running over a dog is going to devastate the
Yeah.
whole neighborhood.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like,
It's not the same.
yeah, it's a culture gap. It's just different. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Same way I feel like sometimes with doctors. They
For sure.
diagnose black women, black men with certain
For
way
sure.
different, like than they do with, you know what I'm saying? So you kind of be wanting somebody that's more. I just like when people be coming to me saying like, "Yo, I I work at this place, this facility. I want you to talk to my kids. I want you to talk to these kids for me." And then they'll be asking like, "Why do you think these kids don't be? They're not gonna listen to the preacher
Mm-hmm.
because they feel like the preacher didn't go through what they're going through, and it's like he's probably coming in telling them that's wrong. Everything you're doing is wrong. Like you're not even understanding why they feel like that first,
Right.
then finding a solution. You just say everything you're doing is wrong. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And then they had what they doing is surviving. You know what I'm saying? So
Yep.
first you have to understand. So that's why people be like, nowadays, a lot of these nonprofits and stuff like that, even with the abuse and relationships abuse and stuff like that, is the people who actually experienced it because they could relate. So now you got
Mm-hmm.
the people who actually went through the prisons, the gangs, the the poverties, the traumas, and all that. When they speaking to them, it's like it's still some kind of connection there. Like
Yeah.
they could probably read it on you. They might just look at them like, "Oh, gee, like he went through."
Yep.
So now when you talking to them and you're not judging them, you know what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying? They're taking in. They're more receptive to it than you just having a correction officer or police officer, somebody who they already in their mind look at as an enemy
Right.
from their culture. This enemy,
Right.
like, yeah, I seen you come in my neighborhood and pull people out and send them to slavery. I seen you, so I seen you the one guarding people in slavery. You, so that's enemy. Why am I listening to you?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you actually need those that experienced certain things to do more of speaking to the youth. And then you just got some youth that ain't trying to hear that right now. Some people gotta touch the stove.
Yeah.
And it's to say you're not saving everybody.
You can't. And that's like
Nah.
one of the hardest things for me. What I have loved about teaching is I'm the person who didn't experience most of the stuff that these kids experience, but having the opportunity to be in the school with these kids, I'm able to not just come in like a pastor or so and so and be like, you don't need to do this, you don't need to do that. I give them a space to explain, okay, we got an issue right here. You tell me what did just happened. And I make the other kid be quiet. And I'm like, I'm giving you the space so that they feel comfortable to say, wow, I can be heard, as opposed to just being disciplined or written up or, sent to get suspended. Then I give the other
Mhm.
student. And then I'm like, okay, so what I'm hearing is blah, 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 blah. Do both of y'all agree with what I just said? Now we go talk about focusing on the solution of whatever problem just happened. But I got kids, most of the kids that go to this school are coming from traumatic households.
Mhm.
And what I'm blessed in being in here in this space now is I get the opportunity to to become sensitive to that, because I didn't experience it, but I don't overlook it anymore. Like, I got a fifth grader coming to me last week talking about how his uncle puts his granddaddy puts his hands on him. And I'm like, this isn't he's in fifth grade. He shouldn't be dealing with this. There's no way he should be dealing with this. While his granddad's drunk, his grandma's out working and working, and like he shouldn't be dealing with what he's dealing with. His mom is, I think, dead. I'm not sure. Oh, his dad works, so he doesn't get to get He doesn't get to stay with his
Damn.
dad because of the schedule of his dad's schedule. And I'm just like, what? Like, I could see why he would crash out. And he's pretty, in my class, anyways, he's pretty well put together. He doesn't really crash out much.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm working on self-control with him, and I'm working on trying to think before we act and breathe when you feel yourself getting a certain way because of somebody said something to you. But also, I respect the fact that you're coming from your granddaddy putting you in a chokehold and then saying, "Oh, you ain't black out or nothing." Like, again, minimizing what just happened, like training him to minimize abuse
Yeah.
in the fifth grade. No grown man should be doing this to a fifth grader.
The hell.
Anyone, period. But a fifth grader, that's your blood. And then be like, and then him telling you you're hurting me, and you don't stop.
Did he ever explain to you what leads up to it? Do it be like
He
arguments,
drinks.
or he just drink and then
His
he come in
granddaddy
and just
drinks a
start
lot,
picking with him?
and his grandma often say, just sends him up the street to his friend's house. It's not that he's necessarily being disrespect from his, I mean, it's his version, right? But it doesn't sound like it's because he's being disrespectful or not living up to whatever standard. It just sounds like it's alcohol abuse that is now turning into physical abuse on the weakest person in the house. And that also could be
That's
like, you're not
crazy.
my kid, you're my
And he never
grandkid.
told his father.
I, if I'm not mistaken, his grandma does know. I believe his dad knows, but he doesn't have anywhere for him to go except at his grandma's house because his dad's work schedule, he doesn't get off till like 3 a.m. or something. Like, he's not, until his work schedule shifts, he's not able to have him like he needs to be able to have him. It's just a messed up situation, not because his dad is absent, but his dad is doing what he can try to do to provide for his son. And in doing so, his son is being abused.
It's crazy. Yeah, that's
And
the
it's like
predicament.
so many of these kids, like, they come in and I can see it. Like, I can tell your morning started off the way it should not have started off without me knowing what happened. Or I can tell there's something not right. I mean, I don't even try to like probe them too hard. I'll be like, do you want to talk about it? And they say no. And then I ask anyway. I'm like, well, is it something that happened here? Or is it something that didn't happen that happened outside of here? Just to kind
Yeah.
of gauge the potential level of the severity. Like, as if it's something that happened here, it's probably some trauma it's probably something that's being over dramatized because you're at an age and you're really sensitive and other kids are insecure. And it's like something that 30 years from now, it might not even matter. 10 years from now,
Yeah.
it might, 5 years. But if you're telling me it's something outside of here, like, I asked one boy, same fifth grade class last year, I was like, he's just having a way. And he's like, he was about to crash out. I'm like, yo, what's going on? What's going on? What's the problem? He's like, man, it's just so much going on in my life. Blah, 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 blah. I got funerals to go to this weekend. I'm like, in the fifth grade, I never went to a funeral in the fifth grade at this young, but he was listing stuff back to back to back. And I'm like, there's no reason this young boy should be dealing with this.
Dealing with all that at
And
that age, right?
and then expected to focus on his schoolwork and figure out why he can't grasp these math concepts. This is a lot going on in their
A lot.
brains,
Yeah.
and they're not emotionally stable anyways. Then you got to try to throw this in the mix, and I'm just like, help meet them where they are and help them how you can is my mindset.
That's one of your job titles at the school?
No, I'm the PE teacher. I'm not the counselor.
Nah. The whole time sitting here, I'm like, all right, so she must be the guidance counselor or
No,
deal with at-risk kids or
no.
something. Cause yeah.
But I think that, and this is crazy. The crazy thing is, this is my first year. These kids don't know me like that, but I think that I've built up a rapport with them to where they feel comfortable enough. Like the fifth grader, he asked his history. I think that was history. He asked his history teacher to leave class to come talk to me about that incident with his granddad. And I'm like, okay, so obviously I'm giving off an energy, which I want to be doing, giving off an energy
Leroy
to make you
clothes.
feel comfortable enough
The
for you.
Leroy clothes. When you stepped into school, everybody like, that's her.
Talk nice to me.
That's her.
Yes. No, I'm not a guidance counselor. I'm not a trained psychologist. I'm just like, let me give you open space to be heard.
Yeah.
I really feel like that's what they need. Like, even it, like, and this is from fifth to ninth grade, because I have ninth grade. I had a ninth grader just pour out all his whole stress bucket on me today during class. And I was like, well, I could easily be looked at like, oh, she's not even teaching class because I just gave them the day to play however they wanted to play.
Mm-hmm.
But doing that allowed one person who probably needed rest to get some rest. It allowed another young man who was going through something to sit down and think. Because I went over to him. I'm like, if you come into my classroom and you don't come in with the energy that I'm used to seeing you in, I'm asking you what's wrong.
Yeah.
And so the first kid is like, no, I'm just tired, coach. I said, okay, I just want you to know we got to understand it. If you come in here like this, expect me to come over here at least once during class to figure it out. I'm not forcing you to get up and play something right now.
Mm-hmm.
The other kid, same thing. I was like, hey, what's going on? Do you want to talk about it? Did it happen here or not happen here? And I was like, okay, so you don't want to talk about it? I'm like, all right, well, if you ever want to talk about it. And he's like he wasn't even speaking. So I leave him over there to sit with whatever he's going through. And I come sit down. I let the kids have like a free day. And then this other kid comes over and he unloads his bag of stress. Grades. I can't get my grades. My mom not listening to me. I'm telling her this is what I want. She telling me that I only want this and I'm not looking for, like, he's just like offloading, offloading, offloading. Then the kid that was over there in the corner who said he didn't want to talk about it comes up to me. He was like, Coach, I thought about it and I realized it ain't even that deep. It's not even, he's like, it's not even worth it. I said that. And then he got up and started playing. And I'm like, if I don't create a space where I'm not constantly telling you what to do, I could miss out on an opportunity. I didn't say anything to him, but he was able to think through it on his own instead of having to sit here and be forced to do something that he might not mentally have been in a state to do right now. And so I just think it's a blessing in the freedom that I have in the class and the glow that I have and and the ability to have them feel like they actually can at some point open up. And I'd be like, oh shoot, okay, here we go. We taking this ride. Okay, let me put my hat on and hear what we gotta say. And like they shouldn't be dealing with that. And it all falls back to trauma that's not being talked about. It all falls back to abuse that's being pushed under the rug or dismissed as like
So schools don't have that no more.
they still have the guidance that we got
But
a certified guidance counselor. And I'm pretty sure the fifth grader has talked to her about it.
oh, okay.
It's so many people
Like
who are
I
on the
said
list
though,
that see him.
sometimes gotta feel some kind of connection there. Gotta
Yeah.
be able to relate some form of fashion. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or it's not going to be, even if they place the person in there, the conversation gonna be shallow.
Yeah.
You're never gonna touch no deep conversations.
Right.
It's gonna be like, I'm all right,
Yes.
regular. Yeah, it's gonna be like real. Yeah,
And I try to help them with that language and not pressuring you to tell me what's wrong, but I'm like, don't tell me you're okay. Just say you're not okay, but you don't want to talk about it
say that.
because you're not okay. And so they'll be like, I'm okay. I'm like, no, you're not. Yeah, I am. I'm like, no. I'm like, don't tell me that. Just say, Coach, I don't want to talk about it. Something is bothering me, but I don't want to talk about it. I will respect that, but I need you to comprehend that this isn't okay. Even with apology, something as small as an apology, you hit somebody and it's easy to say now, oh, it's okay, instead of saying I forgive you. I'm like, don't say it's okay. I'm trying to train the girls at school. Like somebody did something to you and they come back and they say they're sorry. Don't say it's okay. No, say it's not okay, but I forgive you.
I'm not
Or
forgetting.
I accept your apology. But if we can condition ourselves to stop saying things are okay when they're not, I think that that's also going to play a major role in how we allow other people to treat us.
Is that what do they call that a deflect?
Deflecting, deflecting to me is when you come to me and you ask me something and I was good
And
at
you
it.
go and you
I
go
don't
somewhere else
answer
with
the
it.
question right.
Yeah, but it's something they call that too. Like if somebody come to you and be like, "Yo, well, yeah, it's all good, it's all right," but it's
Yeah,
really
yeah, yeah.
not.
But
It's
it's
a
not.
word for that.
I don't know what the word
Not
is, but it's
deflect.
not.
It's something
Yeah.
else. But I definitely understand. I definitely recognize that circumstance, though. I mean, because
Yep.
there's plenty of times too when I was younger and somebody be like, "All right, like, yeah, I'm good," but I probably really wasn't
And you
good.
not.
I probably had on my mind that was just laying heavy on my mind.
Mm-hmm.
I could have been going through something at the time or whatever. You know, back then you didn't really sit there and talk about
Correct.
depression. You
Correct.
had to really act out to for your family members to be like, you need to take him and go see somebody.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Other than that, I mean, you could just be walking around quiet. They'd just be like, he quiet.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't considered
Yeah.
depression, considered depression or nothing back then. It was just like, he don't talk much, do he? You know what I mean?
Right.
Quiet. That's all it was. Stuff like that, yeah. And most of the times, we're like, no, I'm all right. I'm good.
Mm-hmm.
You're not.
And you're not. And I
Yeah.
want, like, as kids and adults, we have to start training ourselves to be honest and know that it is okay to not be okay. It's a part of life, but we don't have to perform for everybody all the time. And then if something is bothering you, you don't have to say what it is, but be honest that something's bothering you. Because the more that you train yourself to say things are okay, the more things that you shouldn't accept growing up as you get older, you're going to accept and then say it's okay when it's not. It's just not. Everything magnifies. And like I was telling the ninth grader today how he keeps saying he can't do things, he can't do this. I'm like, you can. No, he had an accident, his teeth got knocked out, so now he's like really timid about being playing contact sports and things. But you want to play football, but you're timid about playing contact sports. I can't, coach, I don't jump as high with other people in basketball because I'm just afraid that my teeth again. I won't climb ladders because I'm afraid of all these things. I'm like, so it's not that you can't do it, it's that you're choosing not to do it out of a fear that you have. Let's stop saying you're not capable of doing these things. Don't tell me you can't read when I just saw you read. It's just that maybe you're not comprehending because you're not reading things that you're interested in. Like,
Yeah.
let's be honest
Yeah.
on every level that we can be honest on, so that if we can put the appropriate wording to whatever we're feeling and experience, it gives us a better opportunity to handle it in a more productive way. Like,
Nah,
don't, I'm too nice, coach. I'm too nice. I don't tell people no. I'm like, I told him that. I said, it's about time to start flexing that no muscle. Like, because whoever you tell no, they're going to go get whatever they're asking you to do from somebody else. But if you don't start doing it now, you're going to get older. You're going to go to college. You're going to be in friendships. You're going to have new friends in college, and they're going to take advantage of you because they're going to see that they can. You're going to get in relationships, and they're going to take advantage of you because they're going to see that they can treat you however they want. But they know at the end of the day, you're still going to fall. They can fall back on you saying, "I'll show up."
mm-hmm.
And it's like you have to protect. You have to train yourself to protect your peace too.
Nah, that's a super fact.
So
Can't let people make you feel guilty about. I tell people this all the time. Putting self first is not always selfish, yo.
correct.
Because how can you be right for anybody if you ain't right with yourself? I mean, like, come on.
That's what Lauren Hill said. How you gonna
Sometimes I don't
win if
tell
you
people.
ain't right within?
It's times I don't told people like, yo, I don't. Sometimes I go lock into my crib. I don't really want to be on the phone.
Mm-hmm.
I might not necessarily want to watch TV.
Mm-hmm.
I might just want to lock in ways we used to back then. Book, writing,
Yeah.
going through, because I be having all kinds of folders, papers, man. I still be like studying through a lot of law and stuff
Mm-hmm.
like that. So I might just want to spend a day going through that kind of stuff. I don't want to see nothing about TV, nothing about the news, nothing about nothing going on. I don't really want to do too much talking about a bunch of gossip and politics. I
Mm-hmm.
just want to. It's something that I need to tap in with myself before
Yeah.
I can even present myself back to y'all. Because then if I don't, it's like, whatever you trying to present to me, I'm not even going to be receptive to it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because this is not where I'm at right now. You know what I'm saying? And there was times I actually did that in a relationship too, and they misread it.
Yeah.
They misread it thinking it's someone else. It's some other
Mm-hmm.
reason. It can't just be the fact that I'm telling you. And some people call it like what's that? Self
I know what
medicating.
you're trying to.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like self
Self-diagnosis.
therapy.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you would
Mm-hmm.
like I ain't trying. I'm not going to see a psychiatrist or nothing or a therapist. It's just something that I feel my body's telling me you need this. You know, how some people be like, I know I need a vacation.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you know you need that self day.
Yeah. And it's their insecurity that is saying, "Oh, it's got to be somebody else, or it's got to be when if I can't respect you focusing on you for your health, is that's saying something about me if I don't believe what you're telling me, and you haven't given me a reason to not believe you. That's
Yeah.
saying that I'm insecure about something. I don't think that I am bringing enough to the table, so you're going to get it from somewhere else. And it's like this doesn't even have anything to do with you, honestly. It's just what I need to recharge, to refocus, to recenter myself so that I don't lash out on you, or I don't take something out on you that you don't deserve. And it's again, conversations and confidence. Like it all falls back on that kind of stuff. In every relationship, in every friendship, in every uh partnership that comes, whether it be business or romantic, what have you, like if we can't communicate, and if each party in that thing can't communicate and they don't have the confidence in who they are, then there's going to be friction that isn't able to be resolved in a healthy way. So, did I? Now we
And
can be on.
Boogie.
Go ahead and tell people how they can find you, what you do, if they need to connect with you, if they got any ways of needing you and your services, can they find you?
Me in traffic. No. Catch me at
Oh
your
my gosh.
in neighborhood Walmart. Just don't walk up on me. I don't want to hear that. No,
Don't walk up
stop.
on me. Don't walk. Give me 50 feet.
Nah, you already know Deadeye 59. YouTube channel is I am Deadeye 59. Instagram is I am Deadeye 59. Got a fire video out right now called Deadeye Scriptures. That's another thing I was gonna tell you. I ain't no angel with rapping either. I ain't telling everybody to just jump off the bridge and do no crazy. But I did a lot of my songs do reflect the environments I grew up in, but I do have other kind of songs too.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, like the Dead Eye scripture, is my life.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I do when I speak to people, I do tell them view the music the same way you view a movie. Don't you don't gotta try to emulate.
Yeah.
Might be just painting a picture of a movie. Look at it like that,
That's
and it's
good.
entertainment. Don't go try to
That's
just
good.
emulate it because your favorite rapper is not standing on the corner, probably hustling or no shit like that. But the song, the bars might sound good for him saying trapping on the
Mm-hmm.
corner. You know what I'm saying? you
Yeah.
know? Yeah, so that don't mean you have to emulate that because obviously he's doing something different. You know what I'm
That's good.
saying? But yeah, I am Deadeye 59. Yo, and Boogie, this was a great conversation. I ain't gonna lie. I know you probably like, he talking when we first met each other. And I'm like, word, I'll get on there. Yeah, I'm gonna set it up. I know you probably like, yeah, whatever, man. You moving.
I know. I was like, I don't know. He might back out.
Nah. Hey, yo, I'm not scared of what'd you say that? Tough conversations.
Yeah.
You know, some people probably duck certain conversations, like, oh, nah, because even if you try to get your point across, all females going to do is bash you.
Yeah.
I'm not telling no punk motherfucker they should be beating on no female, but I'm also telling females you shouldn't be hitting on no men either. It should go both ways. And if y'all both have mental issues, then y'all both need to check that. Y'all both need to get tapped in with yourselves before you can be right for anybody. You need to be right with yourself. Like, mentally, what you want, what you don't want, what you're going to accept, what you're not going to accept. at least know these things. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes we get into relationships because we like, all right, it's time for me to be in a relationship. And then while you in a relationship with certain things, you be like, I didn't really want to do this. I didn't really want to do that. Or now I feel like certain freedoms is being taken away from you. And right now, a female like, oh, you just want to cheat. No, that's not what I'm talking about, you crazy.
But it's so true. Calling out the people that come into the comments and completely miss the message that you're actually giving. You're so true for saying that.
Yeah.
Because somebody's going to hear that, and that's exactly what they're going to
Yeah.
say.
Or you just wanted to know. It could be
Like, it
that.
ain't even got nothing to do with
What
that.
if I want my self days and now we in the same crib? My self day to her might mean you doing something or he not into me no more. And then now you coming in there and we need to have a conversation about that on my self day. I can't leave and go to a hotel for my self day, right? Because now I'm definitely doing something, right? You see what I'm saying?
Facts.
So it's like
Facts.
that means you're not all the way and communication can help that too. But you have to have people that's understanding to that.
That part.
Because some people feel like they've been 48ed in so many relationships. They like, so you need a self day. So where you going on your self day? Oh, so you're just gonna be staring at the lake and nobody else gonna be there. Okay.
Yes, and that's a level of maturity, and like that's being able to attract the person, because there are people out there who do understand and do believe and don't think that you out there fooling around, but you are actually taking this up. But the people who are insecure that be trying to rush back in, that are trying to rush back into relationships and things like that, like you said, if you come to a space where you're not ready to be in a relationship for real, but you get in one with somebody who definitely got some self-work they need to be doing, and then you pull this line, that's a whole, like you said, that's a whole shifted energy on the day that you were trying to realign your energy, reset your energy.
Yep.
And
All
it's
right.
like, it ain't even got to be like this. And it wasn't supposed to be like this.
Nope.
So, man, my God, woo! That was good. This is good. This is good. We got to do something in the future together for sure. But I just want to say
What's the
thank
topic
you.
gonna be? Well, we spoke about that before. You
Yeah.
said you're gonna get a little more universal in your topics.
Yeah, I like while you're talking and you're thinking about youth, like I'm just hearing focusing on mental health, focusing on like just the transparency and the honesty. What you've lived through. This is what I talked to the person last week's episode. It's like people believe people with lived experiences more than they believe people who are just coming with book knowledge,
Yeah.
or I hope you do better, or the should do betters and the could do better conversation.
Yeah.
And which is why people want you for their students and their youth, because it's like this man done probably been through everything you think you want to go through, and a whole lot of stuff you don't want to go through and don't know that you might be going through if you keep going down this path. And
Yeah.
so just like consciousness, wise decisions, understanding like the bar you just dropped, think of music like you watch a movie. You don't go try to emulate everything you see on a movie because you realize it's just
Oh,
entertainment,
no.
but you're conditioned to think you're supposed to emulate everything you listen to in a song when it's supposed to be entertainment.
That's it.
So I don't know what it's going to
Supposed to
be.
be educational too, because that's how it originally started.
Yeah.
They try to take a lot of
Yep.
the education that lifts us.
Like Toby, you listen to Toby Inigwe, Toby Inigwe. I'm gonna have to send you his stuff. Have you ever heard of him? He's in Houston, Texas rapper. He's
Ain't
Nigerian.
got nothing to talk about. Is that the one he talk a lot of political stuff?
He's I
Nah,
don't know
that's
if he
not his
talks a lot of
name.
political stuff, but he I'll send you his page.
When I find
He
the one I'm talking about, because I ain't that's the crazy shit. I wonder if they deactivated his channel. Because I used to see his shit pop up on my feed a lot. He used to
a
get real
rapper.
political with his rap. Yeah, rapper. He used to get real political with his raps. He used to talk about like, the Illuminati situations and people this, that, and the third inside the industries and how people profit off of this, off of people. Like, but the songs be fire. But
Right.
I just realized just now I haven't seen nothing come across my new feed. And when you used to seeing somebody, it's like you don't really lock into the Instagram name
Right.
because
Yep.
they
Because it's
always
always
just
there.
pop up on your doorstep anyway. Now I'm sitting here, I can't remember their name for nothing. But the
It's gonna
next
come to
time I
you.
see it, I'm gonna lock in on it. Like now I'm gonna know
Yeah.
your name.
Send it to me for sure. For sure. But yeah, like it's a lot of he wasn't T.I. Chance and Cardi B had a show back in 2021 or 22 where they were like bringing it's
Chance
almost
the
like a
Rapper.
yeah. They had this show on Netflix, I think, where they were like the American Idol of rap. And so they were going to different places and it was a rap battle competition thing. This isn't what you're talking about though. The artist that you're thinking of, he wasn't on that, was he?
I don't think so. When
Because
I
there's another guy
again,
I'm thinking of.
because I'm about to. Yeah,
Does he have dreads?
think so.
I wonder if we're thinking about the same guy, and I can't remember his name.
I'm gonna
But
find him though.
when you find him,
I'm a
send it to me.
Virgo. I got that OCD shit when I'm trying to. I'm figuring some out or something. That's that shit that dude was doing when he was making the light bulb and all that. Man, he just
Yeah,
got to. Yeah, I'm gonna sit there. I'm gonna figure that out, man.
figure it out.
It'll be
Man,
5 o'clock
Deadeye,
in the morning.
this has been good. I just want to say thank you. It has been a privilege and an honor to have this conversation, to share this space with you, to bring awareness to the guys who just because you can endure it doesn't mean you should. And to know that even if you do call the police, it doesn't make you a punk. Like all of these stereotypes about men who get abused and it's dismissed because it's not that bad. Thank you for talking about that. Thank you for sharing
I ain't never
your
said.
experience.
I ain't saying it do, but I ain't never saying it don't make. I just said I'm not doing it.
You ain't doing it, but there's a lot of them out there, There's a
Yeah,
lot of guys out there who are again have one more thing to suffer in silence with.
yeah.
And it ain't
And
gotta be like
nobody
that.
can have to do that.
We shouldn't
Nobody
have
can
to.
have to do that. Hell no. I put a wear and tear on your life and on your body.
Yep.
This was a great one right here. Yeah, we definitely that's a dance you came in doing when I
I can't help myself. I can't help it. Oh my gosh. Thank you. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for sharing your love. Thank you for shining your light, Deadeye. Thank you for all of your advice, your wisdom, your knowledge. I don't know who this is going to reach, but I hope and pray that it does. And I believe that it's going to reach the right people. Y'all, this has been another amazing episode of the Can't Be Broken podcast. We here. We ain't going nowhere. But in the
Yep.
meantime, in between time, we gone.